Right.
Go ahead. You know you want to say it.
Coming live from Sword Tongue HQ. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm done here, okay?
Oh my god. Yeah, your job is done.
My job is done. Well, my job is to look at all the lovely messages because I can see, like, this is some Inception shit. I'm looking at you guys, looking back at us, looking that way forward.
Mm-hmm. It's like an infinite mirror of possibility, man.
Yeah. Oof, my brain hurts.
What?
I said, oof, my brain hurts. But I will.
It's okay. You don't have to think about it anymore.
I will be monitoring the messages. So even though I could kind of see them from right there, but I'm partly blind. I probably need glasses.
Because otherwise, we'd have to go up close and be like, "Wait, how do I answer people?"
Who are you?
Right, and we don't want to do that.
Right.
What's your
hi, Lauren.
sword tongue experience? Hello.
Lauren joined. Hi.
I am. It's my birthday today.
That's right.
Holy moly! So, yeah, another year.
Hi, Brooke.
Hi.
Yeah.
Another turn around the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being very reflective these days. Having a birthday in quarantine bites, to put it lightly.
She leveled up though.
Thanks.
Yeah, so,
I did.
Oh, Sasha's here. Hi, Sasha.
Hi! Yay!
Yay.
We've got some of our family joining us, which is fantastic.
Lauren says happy birthday.
Yay!
See, you're making her birthday that much better already.
I know. It definitely.
Yeah.
I've gotten a ton. I've gotten a bunch of messages on Facebook and text messages, and my brother called, and his two daughters, two tiny daughters, sang me happy birthday, and it's all pretty. That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
And I have the best husband in the world.
Yay.
Who bought me the most ridiculous cards ever, which are fantastic. Which I almost brought out here to share with you guys.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's special. So.
One of them was like, "Don't open that in front of the children."
Yeah. You have the sweet, lovely card, and then you have the really ridiculous comedy card. Because if you try to get something in between, it's generally a very bad idea.
Well, you don't really hit either mark, right?
Yeah,
it's like you don't hit the sweet or the funny, and it's kind of like. Meh.
So you might as well just go for.
I know.
You might as well just go for both.
Sorry, guys. Total inside joke.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's gonna be hard not to do that.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying my best right now. So I haven't been talking much. You see.
I know. It's really cold out. The other thing too.
Yeah,
and,
we're
and
freezing.
when I say really cold,
Oh,
I mean
Ash
California.
Joined. Hello.
Yay! I mean California cold. Because let's face it, it's really not that cold compared to what a friend of ours who we play with online.
Yeah, it's negative 22 degrees in Alaska.
It's not that cold.
It's really cold.
Like I have skin showing, and we're in a building that's not insulated, so.
Yeah, that Sword Tongue HQ is sadly not insulated, so it is.
But
really
it will
cold.
be.
Yes,
it will be. There are improvements coming to Sword Tongue HQ.
Very soon, this shall be a proper looking studio.
The first one is wiring, because right now we have 2 outlets and like 50 million power strips where everything's plugged into.
We run a full office, a recording studio.
One day we should do a little tour.
Space.
We should well, let's save the tour for when it's after.
Done.
Yeah, exactly, because this is like
everybody gets to see the one wall that's actually insulated beside us with the doors and windows.
We face out of the corner.
Yeah, because we don't want to.
We don't want to show off how janky it is inside right now. But it's all good. It's I'm like I said, I'm kind of reflecting. Not only on the past year, but on my whole life. That kind of happens when you hit a milestone birthday. So it's like, it's pretty interesting. And I feel like, in some respects, I'm still just kind of hitting my stride.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more coming from me. I'm not slowing down, like.
No.
And one of those things is our brand new music video.
Yes, for Echoes.
Yes, so it's a new single. It's on. It'll be on an upcoming EP. We've got 2 songs written, so we've just got to write through. All we've got to do is write 3 more.
All we got to do is write 3 more.
And then we'll have an EP for you guys.
Yeah, we're excited to share this with you tonight because the first album, Shadows. It was, a result of about 4 years of us really kind of finding where we were musically between, being full-time parents, starting our own life together and everything. So there were a lot of things before we settled into a nice smooth groove. And now this is like, now that we kind of know where our sound is, we're pushing our boundaries a lot more. That's for sure.
We're pushing the envelope, folks.
Yes.
For you guys.
For you guys. For the
No,
fans.
actually, it's all... For the what?
For the fans.
We did it all for the...
No. No.
I promised him I wouldn't do that.
No Limp Bizkiting. No. Ooh.
Anyway, so yes,
anyways.
we're definitely pushing the limits on this one, and it's been great. So the first song is Echoes, and that's what we have a music video for that is premiering, which we will listen to.
Yeah, we will do live with you.
Yes, you'll be able to see us react to our own video that we've seen 10 times. Well, that I have. Really.
No, that she's seen not 10 times. That's 10,000 times.
Oh my God.
So.
Guys, I've had a little problem with Adobe Premiere, and it did not go as smoothly as I hoped. Although, in some respects, it went better than the broken video.
Yeah.
I learned a lot in that video, and so now it was okay. Then, now, this video, so whereas with Broken, I just took one video take of us and then intercut with some stock footage, this one, we had kind of a concept behind it, a story, as it were. And we decided to... I liked the storyboards and how everything was going to flow for which parts of the song. And then I went out and we found a location, which is fantastic. It's right near Moss Beach on the California coast, Northern California coast. And then I promptly threw out all those storyboards and just decided to wing it. Which was mostly successful, and there were a couple times when I was like, I just really wish I had shot the whole thing through. It would have been much easier to cut than what I did.
But now we learned more.
I made it hard for myself, but it was good, and I think that I really like that we're kind of exploring more of the storytelling capabilities of video and how they sort of augment our songwriting.
Right. We. Jennifer is really good with concepts and obviously lyrics because that's kind of her job. So so as we as we dig more and more into this, it's an interesting way to tell a different side of the story to the song as well too, and it's pretty cool that way. It lets us since there's no middlemen in between it kind of lets us really get our vision out and everything and push it forward. And I think that's what we're trying to get better at more and more. So as the songs get better, the concepts get better with it as well, too.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And Echoes, for me, was really... we were talking about this today. I was like, how did we come up with that song? And how do we start
We
that
had...
song?
So, before we even finished... Shadows in the Shape of Men. I mean, the songs were all written, but when we were in the middle, right before we'd started recording everything, because I think we were still playing live at that time, I was just out here and Jen was messing around with some vocal loop things. I think we actually talked about Sinead O'Connor.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I think you mentioned something about... She mentioned something about Sinead O'Connor and was kind of... fucking around with some things that sounded kind of like that when she was looping, and I really liked it, and I just started playing this really simple guitar line thing. I don't know what I was doing, and I never know what I'm doing. And then she's like, oh wait, do this with it, and it kind of gave this song a bit of a swing, and then we recorded that, and I think it's actually on our Instagram page, a million posts down, this little snippet of it, what would eventually become this song.
Right, we should hunt around for that.
It's definitely there. And then we kind of put it on the back shelf, obviously, because we had more things to do. And then what ended up happening was after we'd finished recording and we'd put it out and everything, we sat down and started writing, and song came together really fast, actually. All the parts were there pretty quickly. Jen really took a larger... This time around, this album around, she's been taking a much larger part in the actual construction of the songwriting, instrumentally rise in songwriting as well. Yeah. And Kitten Dreaming and Mucha Peach joined. Hi.
Yay! Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
So I just learned bass How has it been? Like
over
a year
2
and a half?
years. Over 2 years.
Oh God, I should be much better by now. Anyway,
she's way better than because she played cello before that too.
I kind of played cello. I mean, I did play cello in a band, but
yeah, you're way
I
better.
I played it on stage at the Uptown. Actually,
yeah, you're way better than you think you are. So okay.
I keep, my philosophy in life is under promise and over deliver.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of it trips me up when I have to accurately represent my skills and what I bring to the table. Because I'm not really that good. And people like. Anyways, I did play cello for a bit, and that has informed my bass playing. But really, like when you learn a different language, right? You're always like thinking from your mother language. Oh, that's my phone. Get a text.
We're good.
Yeah. Are you on? I can't find.
No, there she is.
Yay!
Jackie, you found us.
Jackie found us. Okay, let me turn off my sound.
All right, there we go. Hold on.
Oh, my sound is off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It might be linked to that.
Right.
It's okay.
Okay,
It's okay. Just because that way it might mess us up and just.
No, I just put it on mute. Okay.
There we go.
Got it.
So,
yay. So anyway, the when you're learning a new language, you always think about what you want to say in your native tongue, right? And then it's a translation. Like, okay, I want to say this, so you don't think of things in a different language.
Right.
My native music language is voice. So I always think of what I want to do on bass in terms of the voice. And then I translate it to, okay, what notes do I have to hit on the actual, which frets and that kind of thing.
And because she actually knows notes and things like that, not like a, not like a musical Neanderthal like me. It's
I was just in choir and they were like, okay, we're going to do music theory and ear training classes, right? Which is great. I love this. And then we had these last semester, and then this semester they're like, okay, well, we're going to self-assess again. Here are the questions. And I'm like, I answered all the beginner ones. Great, no problem. Intermediate ones, I'm like, I can't answer any of these. So I don't know, and then I was like, okay, does that mean that I should be a beginner? Or does that mean that I passed beginner and I should be an intermediate? Anyway, I feel like I should know more at this point, but I don't.
Well, and that's all with all things learning and related. I think that you have a very this is kind of a very much a fluff you up sort of thing right here. No. I'm like no. She writes.
I need the fluffing sometimes.
She writes the fluffing. She writes very vocal bass lines. It very much reminds me of like how Paul McCartney would write in the Beatles, and
nice.
She's able to form strong counter melodies and things like that. Things I wouldn't normally come up with, mainly because then I'd be coming up with counter melodies in my own lines, and that's a whole level of things I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I just write riffs and she arranges them all. This is really the magic right there.
That's the formula right there.
Jackie says fluffy love, and it's like
fluffy
the
love.
fluffy love.
Fluffy. But it's funny. So with this song, with Echoes, we had kind of a riff going. I was doing some random looping that were like, okay, how can we fold that in together? And then it was, for me, it always comes down to the writing, right? Mm-hmm. So then I always, and we were joking about this today, I was, I'm really good at writing first verses.
Okay. Oh.
I'm really...
Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Go on. Yeah, sorry. I'm looking at things, yes.
I'm really good at writing first verses, but sometimes, when it gets to the, like our next song after this is called, I've just changed the name. What it was? Twilight of the Apocalypse. It was just Twilight. I realized that most of my songs have one-word names, and I'm trying to break myself out of that habit. But also, Twilight kind of deals with being on the precipice of this impending doom. Not to be like all,
Goth?
pandemic. Yeah.
Because that's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
Don't let the smiling face fool you. She's filled with the darkness.
Oh my God, it's very on brand for me. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really is about kind of waiting for this light to come. Is Twilight and Twilight of the Apocalypse, but parts of it were written during the last year when there's plague, there's fire, there's we had power outages and wind and, destruction, really. It's like, and fear and uncertainty, right? About the world around us and that things were going to be okay. And I think that, Twilight of the Apocalypse kind of channels all of that energy. Whereas Echoes is just kind of this, for me, it has this feeling of being lost and the desire for connection. But it does it in such a way that when I started looking at doing the video, I got this very clear image in my mind of, and I don't know how many of you remember, you can raise your hand, like say in the chat, does anyone remember the Blair Witch Project?
So it'll take a second to beat over them. So keep going. I'll keep an eye right here.
So like the Blair Witch Project was one of those films that I saw when it came out. I was actually in New York when it came out.
99, 2000. 99. No, it was 99. Yeah.
Yes.
It was 99.
Yeah, it was 99.
Yeah, I remember.
So, and when I saw it, I was really hungover, actually. And with all those shaky camera movements, it was not good. My coworker I was on a business trip. My coworker actually like ran to the restroom to throw up because he was like, it was not good. But what I really loved about that was that kind of, see if anyone remembers
I'm keeping an eye. So.
But what I loved about that was this whole idea of a witch in the wood, and it was kind of her domain, and this was a place that you entered with some trepidation. And I actually commissioned some symbols to be constructed that we hung in the forest where we shot the video.
Right. And they are featured in the video.
They are featured in the video, and it's Lauren Parker, the woman who lent us the location for Drowning, for the interior location.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Lauren. And Lauren, you're credited in the video, so there's a link if you want to check out her. She's a wonderful writer that's based in here in Oakland. She just launched this whole cottagecore serial that I think is really fantastic. But she's just got such amazing projects anyway. And
your symbols now adorn the wall of our studio space here.
Yes, if I didn't want to
Yeah, we can't, because if we start moving this camera around, you're going to be looking at our kneecaps for the rest of the night.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, and Jackie tried to raise her hand, but all she did was hang up by accident. And Lauren says anytime. Thank you. No, we always appreciate your help, Lauren. You're inextricably linked with this band now.
I know. She's kind of the sword-tongued stylist. For better or worse.
Yeah, she's the third member.
Mm-hmm. So. I also had some other help on this video because I was trying to break out of my. In the last few years I've been trying to transition into what my makeup style is about.
Right.
And I found this wonderful group online, this Facebook group. It's Makeup But Make It Goth or Grunge, which is fantastic. It's a very inclusive community, super positive, super supportive. And there were so many people doing fabulous looks, and I was like, oh my God, I'm really overwhelmed. And so, but one of the women that I met there, Carrie Young, she has Kerry Blue Scy, and she's also linked in the video. She does goth makeup tutorials, so it's fantastic, and looks and all that. Yes.
Really quickly, Lauren is the fifth Beatle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So Carrie really helped me. I was like, I want to do something different, and I like this, but this woman is in her early 20s. Obviously, I'm not sure what I can pull off. Can you help me with this? And she very patiently looked through things and gave you some suggestions, and it was super, super helpful. So that was great. Thank you so much, Carrie.
Yes.
And then the third person I'd like to thank in my Academy speech.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
No, this isn't the TED Talk. That's later. Later, maybe someday. Not now. Not tonight. It's my birthday. The third person is BZ Lewis.
Yes.
And he is the man who has not only done the mixing and mastering of our songs. He did our first EP, Shadows in the Shape of Men.
Yes.
But he also...
now he pretty much...
He's producing the drums for us.
Yeah.
So before, he was like, okay, let me just do some fixing of the drums that you have.
Major
the janky
fixing.
Drums that we had.
We have actual drums now in our songs. Oh, hey, Paul. Paul joined.
Yay!
Good friend
Hi,
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us tonight.
So yeah, but BZ Lewis is fantastic. He's like an Emmy-winning composer and Grammy-winning. Wait, I've got that backwards. I think he's a Grammy-winning recording engineer.
There we go.
But he's also, I think he's won an Emmy, actually.
Yeah, he's
like, you go into the studio, I kid you not, you go into the studio, and it's like, there's like award, and it's just like, you just sit there like, holy shit.
Yeah, and he's one of the most humble guys
he's
ever. Just
so
super
great to
nice.
work with.
Yeah.
If you're in the Bay Area and you need someone to do any mixing or recording, he's the guy.
Studio 132, right?
Yeah, Studio 132. I gotta update the YouTube
we'll do
credits with that because he did the drums for Echoes.
Yeah.
From scratch. Like we just gave up.
We gave him the song and a 4/4 click track and we're like, bang it out. And he did.
Via con Dios. Yeah. And so yeah, he's fantastic to work with.
Yeah.
So we'll have that in the credits as well. But in terms of
premiere in 9 minutes.
In 9 minutes.
Woo!
Woo! I just want to say a bit about the filming. So we filmed in Moss Beach on the coast.
Yeah.
And the way this happened was I kind of tasked Gaetano with finding a location because I was like, I'm trying to think of like the script and how we're gonna shoot this and all the logistics. And it's like, could you take on finding a location? Yeah. And he's like, I got this.
Yeah.
So, and he used to live on the coast side.
Yeah.
So he was like, I know exactly where to go.
Yeah, I had two places in mind, and there was this spot here, which was kind of near the Moss Beach Distillery, which was basically down the street from where I lived for 4 years right after my kid was born. And the other one was, well, if that doesn't work, we can go up to Montero Mountain, which is a little more rugged and a bit more treacherous, and I'm really glad we didn't have to go there.
Yeah, so. That would have been a track with all of that. Yeah. I mean, because we went out there with our guitar and bass because we wanted to get shots playing instruments. So I'm like, okay.
So we can rock out.
Shot list was as follows.
Yeah.
Gaetano playing guitar, close up. Gaetano playing guitar, wide shot. Me singing, close up, and, some variation. And me playing bass, wide to mid shot kind of thing.
Slap at the bass.
Right. I don't slap the bass.
Slap at the bass.
I really don't.
So.
But, so then we wanted to film ourselves doing some of the action of the film.
Yeah.
But we're like, okay, we'll film all the instrument stuff first. Then we'll put the guitars back in the car and come back and do all of that.
Right.
Now, we scouted this location on a Friday, and it was overcast, and it was beautiful, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is going to work out beautifully.
Yeah, the sun was kind of little coming through the clouds just a little bit.
Fantastic. Just a little bit. It was very atmospheric. It was awesome. Yeah. Anyway, that's Friday, right? So then we were like, Saturday, I get up early in the morning, I'm full face, makeup, get all our gear, load up the car, drive out, and it's like 75
It was
degrees,
like a perfect storm, 75 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Mavericks happened, if anybody, knows Mavericks down there, because it's right near that location. So we couldn't move.
Everybody was out.
Was
and
out.
Even this is a very this is like a residential neighborhood.
Yeah, people wouldn't go.
People don't know about this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and there were a bunch of we drove up and I was like, I'm not getting out of this car.
Yeah, I got out and I was like, yeah, let's go home.
So we ended up taking the day off work on Monday because I'm like, okay, we have to get this done.
Yeah.
We have to get these shots because I need to give myself enough time to edit.
We got out of the house at 8 in the morning.
Oh my God, yeah. So, but it was fantastic because then we went there and we shot it within we were done by 11 something.
Yeah, 3 hours maybe.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
About 3 hours, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
We only had one shot that we had to because I shot all of his stuff and then I was like, okay, and I showed him some of the shots that I did and then I was like, okay, can you shoot me like that?
Yeah.
So it was kind of a leap of faith in that way.
Yeah.
Because I've done quite I've done video. Like I've shot video.
I have no business doing it, but I made it work. So there was that.
Honey, you were so fantastic, and you're willing to make it happen, and not like, well, I don't want to, da 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 da. Because then it would have been impossible.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Like,
oh, Jackie. She's like, I like how you finish each other's sentences. Yeah, it's kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like some people think that kind of rapport is kind of, I don't know, gross. Like, why do people still think that? Like,
no,
stop being gross, get a room, blah blah blah.
I don't give a fuck you. So, yeah.
Okay, so and there you have it.
There you go.
But yeah, that's just how we are. So yeah, I think that. So I'm super excited about this.
Video premieres in 5 minutes.
But you know how it is. It's like 5 minutes, and then it like waits a couple minutes to make sure
it'll
you're
hang
there
for a sec. So
and then it gives the countdown.
Yeah,
like a minute countdown.
Yeah, and I think it's like a 10 or 20-second countdown or something weird.
Something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, something funky.
Super excited.
So we'll all get to watch together. It's just gonna be great. So.
And you'll get to see it for the very first time.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
This is actually the first time I'm seeing it all the way through now.
Right, because what happened was I rendered out the whole thing. I've had like several like rough cuts, and I rendered out the whole thing, and then I watched it, and every time it went to my close-up, it was doing this weird stuttering thing. So, and it looked really, and I was just like, shit. Like, this is, I don't know how to fix this. And I have a friend of mine, Xandria Ortiz.
Yes, thank you so much, Xandria. We love you. Thank you. It takes a village to make a music video, apparently. So we're thanking lots of people.
I was like, can you look at this and fix this? So I shipped like all the files off to her, and she was like, well, I found this one help file, but that didn't work, so I'm not really sure what to do. And so I was like, do me a favor, just take my original footage, strip out the audio, clip it exactly, because what I did is I pulled it into Premiere, and then I aligned it based on the audio to line up so that my obviously my mouth was speaking in the right, singing in the right spots. But then I unlinked and then removed all the audio, and then I just took clips of. Then I had to figure out what clips of the close-up I wanted. So what she was able to do is mimic those clips and cut them in QuickTime and pull them into Premiere, and then place them in exactly where they go.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
So, and for those of you that understand what I just said, it's like...
big brains, big bucks.
No, it's just the software. It's like, no, it's like trying to figure shit out in Photoshop. It's like, why is it not doing my thing? You know? It's like, ugh. Anyway, it's done. And I'm really happy.
Done, and we're really
excited.
happy.
And we're excited that you're here with us.
Yeah,
I have to say, this is a really awesome way to spend a birthday.
Yeah. And so, it's definitely weird times, but it's...
Well, my original idea for my birthday was that I wanted to somehow book us a show in Seattle. Yeah. For my birthday, which would have been like, Wednesday in January. I mean, it was pretty slim chance anyway.
No, we would have easily got to show up there.
Anyway,
I would have made it happen.
Oh, so. Yeah, well, we would have...
This was pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic.
There we go. So, yeah.
So that was my idea, and then that didn't happen because we can't travel or play live shows, and
Karen,
I can't have.
Birthday.
Yay, Karen! Thank you. Yeah. So just a note. It looks like our premiere is going to start in 2 minutes. It's usually like a little minute late. So if you want to
watch it with us at the same time.
If you have another device that you can, ideally you'll hang with us here, because I'm going to do a little bit of talking during the video. I always like to kind of give a little bit of color to to shots or that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I'll talk more about the music stuff behind what we're playing and things like that on the
Yeah,
side too,
exactly. So if you want to tune in, if you have another device to tune in there and stay here, or pick one or the other.
Yeah.
We're on both, and both.
It premieres in 60 seconds.
60 seconds. Jeepers.
Yeah, so you can find us easily on YouTube. Just look up Sword Tongue Echoes.
It's youtube.com/swordtongue.
Yeah.
And thank you again to all of our subscribers that allowed us to have a custom URL.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we just, building, we're slowly building a community one person at a time.
We're slowly building an empire.
Well, I don't know if evil galactic empire might suit us.
I didn't say evil or galactic.
Oh,
I just said an empire.
Yeah. I like an evil galactic empire. I mean,
you want an evil galactic?
Well, I do. I kind of. That means I get to wear scary helmets and talk a really deep voice. And I get to walk around telling people I'm their father, and
I mean, it would probably be slightly on brand.
It's Goth.
I was thinking more like a snake empire, kind of like Empire of Snakes.
Oh, premiere will begin shortly.
Okay, so now that my laptop has enough power, I'm going to swing this around so we can watch it, and you can watch our faces.
Yes.
Because
if it was off to the side, we'd be like this.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And then we have this camera. See, we're recording this for posterity over here.
Yes.
So that we can post this to YouTube later.
and also have, you know, like a music video and things like that.
Yeah.
The Karen's got it on our TV. Let's go.
Sweet.
All right.
Woohoo!
Let me see here.
I had it.
This sounds like the stuff you put in the naughty card.
Wait, what does? The Evil Empire? What? oh, the naughty card, the one,
Yes.
the birthday card.
The birthday card, yes.
Oh my god, I wish I could show you that card on camera. It's so...
Just
like,
slide into her DMs later. She'll tell you all about it. So I kind of knocked it out of the park.
I might share some photos with select people.
Well, it's got 2 minute countdown.
1 minute 55 seconds.
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
It's got this really great little loading screen where it's got like...
Beep, boop, beep, beep, beep.
Whoa, I almost dropped my laptop.
I was like,
that would have put a damper on
and
the
we'll
evening.
put the volume up when it's done, because it's gonna be.
Oh, because
loud.
no, it's gonna be. Watch this.
That
it's
sounds
kind
like
of
bad. That sounds like bad elevator muzak. It's muzak. It's totally muzak. Can't goth dance to muzak. I can't even dance.
Was that goth dancing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
How do we see it? Brooke. Oh, go ahead.
Brooke, youtube.com/swordtongue. If you have another tab, if you have your laptop, you can look at it there, and it's on. It's got another minute before it'll start.
Yeah, and then the
and then
videos
you can see it
echoes.
afterwards too.
Yeah.
You can always watch it afterwards. The premiere is just like to generate excitement.
Yeah.
When it launches, but when it launches, then it'll be on the same URL. So it's going to be in the same location. You'll be able to find it.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Oh, how do we see? I think Brooke might have been the naughty card, and I'm just silly. So.
How do we see the naughty card? Brooke, I'll message you later.
Yeah. Don't tell Jen when she can goth dance to on her birthday, Karen.
Karen.
All right.
It's my birthday. I can goth dance if I want to.
Yeah. So.
We're super excited, and thank you so much for joining us.
What's the URL? Oh, geez.
No. Just go to youtube.com/swordtongue.
Yeah.
And then click on videos.
Yeah, and
it'll be there. The premiere of Echoes.
Premiere. Oh, thank you, Lauren. Lauren posted it in there.
Oh, excellent! Yay!
7, 6, 5.
Oh my God!
Now I can crank it up.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, ready?
Here we go.
Okay. Location is fantastic.
Yes. Oh, she got it.
Awesome. And it's really magical. I ended up finding using some found footage to do the effect that makes it look like old-timey photo with like the color bars. It's very subtle though. The song has a nice long build.
Yeah.
It is a 7-minute song, so
Bear with us. We're going into prog rock
It's
territory.
going to take us a hot minute to get through this song.
Lauren
These are the symbols that Lauren... See, Lauren, there's your symbols right there.
Yeah, Lauren said this place is spooky. Yes, it is.
Yes.
So, it's a locals only kind of spot, so...
We're walking. Yeah, Lauren did 3 symbols for us, and they're all in there. Although, Lauren, I should have painted them white. Like once I looked at them on film, like they would have stood out more. So that's my one regret about the music video.
So this is kind of where we're going now. In terms of music, we're really pushing what we're doing now that we know our limits. So this is kind of what to expect. This next EP is going to be filled with some bangers, that's for sure.
It's pretty witchy.
Yeah.
Is where I'm going with my own personal style.
Yeah.
And then this is my guitar, like close up of Gaetano.
I'm going very
I'm really proud of the shooting that I did on this actually.
Very Cocteau Twins sort of guitar vibe going on here for me. So
you know what? I've looked at that shot 10 million times. I'm like, do I look like I know how I'm playing? I look like I don't know what I'm doing. Xandria was so sweet. She's was like, I love your voice. I was like, oh. Good, because you had to listen to it.
Lots of comments to sort through
yay.
after this. Yeah. We'll answer all the comments and things after this video.
Yeah, we'll run through the comments after the video.
So stay with us.
This upshot of you is like glorious. I love this. You kind of hear my voice in the background with that. I recorded that. I can actually do that live, so I loop that part in the beginning, and then I just bring it back in during the chorus.
Everything you hear us do, it's not overdubs or anything. We use all loops.
Yeah, it's all live.
Yeah, everything
it's
is
capable of, like, we didn't record it live like that.
We wrote this song to be played specifically live to where you hear all the parts. The whole song is one big build-up.
Right, here's the story part.
Oh, okay. Story. Wow.
I know, but, well.
Put the brakes on, Malanky.
Your arms are, like, fantastic.
Damn it. Not serious at all here.
No, your arms are fantastic. I'm not joking. The sense of like wandering with no purpose or direction, like you're not really sure if you're actually moving forward or if you're just kind of wandering around.
Yeah, a lot of the layers that we build early on in the song. So, as Jen put it, this whole thing is basically just one large build-up into the ending, which is coming, obviously, and we just slowly building the layers as we go.
Here's the second verse, my elusive second verse.
Yes.
I do really love this song the way it came out. Lauren, these worked out so good with the keys and stuff, and he likes the ones with the corpse nails, the coffin nails.
Future T-shirt design. So.
And I wanted the sense of like loneliness, and a feeling of being lost. Big finish, guys.
Yeah, the wall of sound that I am a gigantic fan of, where we just layer upon layer, we just build upon layer.
It's almost like a silent film vibe right there.
Oh, absolutely.
There we go.
In the famous words of Matthew McConaughey, all right, all right, all right.
Oh, God.
All right, let's see here. Let's go.
So that was, whew.
Let's go backwards here a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to look at the comments and see if we can answer any questions.
Scroll back slowly here. Karen said it looks so freaking cool. Thank you. Lots of yays. Lauren, my haunted deer emblems.
Oh yeah, they totally stole it. I love
and
those.
she was saying about painting them white. She's like, I knew I should have done it for you, but I didn't want to pry about that. We totally get it. Witchy,
anyway.
With lots of witch vibes, and the white dress makes you totally pop on camera.
Oh, yay.
So.
Excellent. I know, usually I go for obviously, black is kind of my uniform, but I really wanted to have kind of a more ethereal, ghostly kind of look. So
right.
I'm playing with white, and this was a perfect video to do that.
Yeah, and definitely Lauren had agreed, definitely witch for sure going on here.
A lot of Blair Witch vibes.
Brooke was like, your makeup is amazing. Boots!
Yay! Again, thank you to Kerry Blue Scy. We've got in the YouTube video, we've got her in the credits. And so you can check out her YouTube channel with makeup looks. She's fantastic.
Oliver was watching and says you're a ghost. And, hey,
yes.
Hey, Collie Rod joined up. Hi.
Yay, hi.
And this is very Elizabeth Fraser sounding. That's a very huge comment. And
thank you.
Especially like guitar-wise for me, it was definitely a take on Cocteau Twins a little bit there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Where I kind of took that shimmering sound from. So thank you for catching that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually when I sing with the Oakland Symphony Chorus, I am a soprano 1. And it's not a place, it is kind of a stretch for me. Like normally you can tell my speaking voice is kind of in a mid-range, and I tend to compose things in a mid-range for myself. But in this one, I really wanted something that was kind of like up here,
right?
To kind of bounce off of. So
yeah, and it definitely, we hope that by putting out this single and everything, you kind of all see where we're heading, like in terms of our music direction. We definitely found our feet and found our sound and are pushing ourselves to be better players and better songwriters when we go through it.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in that song, so
yeah, exactly. I mean, like I actually there's my most complicated bass line to date is in that middle section, that the one that leads up to the will I be lost, will I be found, and that was one of those where even Gaetano was like, I didn't think that you were gonna do that.
Brooke was asking, can you give us some insight into the hands, the finale?
Oh yes. So the very last part of that was in the silence, in the dark, I'll find you here in the in-between. And so each of the verses end with that, the first one ends with, find me here in the in-between, because it's in the dark, in the light, no one leaves, in the dark, no one believes. Find me here in the in-between. So it's in between, that is that liminal space between the dark and the light. And that's the place where we find ourselves. And sometimes when things are not quite like one or the other, we're kind of in this in-between area. Yeah. And that's where we look for connection, right? That's where we want to reach out. We want someone to reach out for us. And so I always had that in my image in my mind of reaching for someone. And because we're a duo, it makes perfect sense that I was like, okay, this might come out cheesy, but I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it because I just want to show that kind of reaching the dark. And we did the whole thing where we clasped hands and like held hands and then let go. And I cut out the part where we were actually fully connected, because that is also part of the song too, right? Yeah. Like you're reaching and you might touch someone in some way, but then there's also the letting go. So it's like we go in and out of connection. Connection is something that I've wrestled with personally over the last, 5 years or so. And so that's a reoccurring thing that comes up in my thinking about my visual art and also in music. So thank you for asking. That was a really big part of that hand motion at the end. But it really is in the silence, in the dark, I'll find you here. Because it really ends, you have all this confusion, like we're wandering all of this. The second verse is, to the voices you cleave, in the silence you freeze, I'll find you here in the in-between. Echoing in the trees. And so in the end, it's like in the silence and in the dark, even when it's got the worst parts of those places, like I'll still find you here. Yeah. Oh, and I'll still connect with you.
Yeah, Brooke is saying it was quite uncomfortable, which is why I like it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it is really kind of an off-putting song too, in some way. It kind of touches it.
I'm me. Like I write difficult things. Like there's a song on our last album that was about cutting called Sever, and I really like to explore. I really feel like my calling as an artist is to kind of go into these places of darkness, because I think that while some people feel very uncomfortable in dark places, and I certainly have my moments of discomfort, they can be so revelatory, and they can be really fruitful. Like you come out the other, whether it's because you come out the other side and you're like, wow, I got through that, or just being in there, you realize some really crucial things about yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where I like to explore. And I really feel like if I can shine a light in those places, and connect with people in that way, it's like that wandering in the forest thing. Like people every time in our lives, we all have moments where we're wandering around in the trees, wondering if we're ever going to find anyone else to connect with. Right. In whether that's in a romantic way or just in an intellectual or friendship or comfort kind of way, we want to be met. And we want to connect with people. And I think that's again, I'm not sure where I went on this rant, but like like I just start to go on a roll. Like, yeah, it is there is a little discomfort in it, and I think that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, yeah, we really, really appreciate everybody being with us here.
Yeah, and thanks for asking questions. I really appreciate. I love talking about the process and talking about kind of like where we're at in creating these things. I mean, that's what I like hearing from other artists too. I love hearing like how people come up with sounds or how they came up with concepts, what topics they like to explore. So we're on a Facebook group online that was started by
Ken Marin.
Yes, of Sounds and Shadows, a review site. So if you haven't heard of Sounds and Shadows, you should check them out.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful.
But we've been connecting with other musicians, and one of the posts was about like what topics do you like to write about, and so people were sharing that kind of thing, and I always find that fascinating.
Yeah, it's definitely it's the writing, it's the vocalist's riff sort of thing, whereas my version would be guitar riffs and things like that. Mm-hmm. For you, it's like your sort of riff where you get inspiration from, things like that.
Yeah, so, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Do we have any other questions? Any burning questions I can answer?
No, just a bunch of comments. Brooke was saying you're a wonderful guide in the dark place, Jen. And
aww.
Jackie was saying it wasn't cheesy, and I appreciate cheesy. And she says it was super touching, and which is why our art complements well, because I'm all about the joyful, fun side.
Mm-hmm.
And
so those of you who don't know, Jackie in the chat there, she is one of my dear friends who's a visual artist, and we've done 3 gallery shows together. Yes. And the first one was for international. She was like, I want to do a show for International Peace Day, and I'm like, great. I was like, I can do that. I can stretch and grow. And then I was like, I can't.
Which she did the peace, no peace. She mentioned that.
Well, yes, but originally it was for, and I was like, we have to call this peace/no peace, because I can't generate anything remotely peaceful in my visual art at all. Yeah. So it's a study of contrast. So Jackie and I, it's funny though, because like I'm pretty upbeat. Yeah. In general, and Jackie is too. If you can't tell from this conversation. But our art takes really different turns, and so it's always fascinating to me to have her as one of my partners in that space. Right,
and Brooke had asked what we're doing next of our next project, and basically I'll answer on that. And basically, we're continuing just to write this new EP at the moment. As Jen said earlier, we finished the second song. That's all done now. Just have a little bit of editing on my end to do, and it's done. And we've already started the bones of the third song, and we're basically going to work from here on out until we finish 5 songs. And basically when those are all done, we're going to clean them up, get them ready, and by that point, hopefully shows will be a real thing again.
Cross your fingers. But we're actually we're going to put, we are releasing Echoes as a single. Mm-hmm. So we'll put that up on Bandcamp. Yeah. So that'll be available there. And then we'll include it in the EP as well.
Yeah.
We'll have that. And then that will be, I don't know if are we going to like release that as a single on CD Baby so it can be streaming?
I don't know. We have to talk about that. I'm not quite sure yet.
For sure it'll be on Bandcamp.
Yeah, for sure. We might hold off until, most likely just until we release the first EP. But like I said, she and I'll have to discuss that as it all
It'll
comes
be on
out,
Bandcamp, though.
It'll be on Bandcamp for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're, hopefully, because we have all the time in the world, I mean, right now,
All the time, though.
yeah, pretty much we have like the next
Oh, yeah, I don't have anything going on.
We have like the next 6 months pretty much to finish 3 more songs, and that might be possible for us, so.
Well, now that I've got this music video done,
Yeah.
like, my brain, I can only like really focus on one big project at a time, and so this music video was that.
Yeah.
And I made a goal because I couldn't do the show that I wanted to for my birthday. I wanted to at least release the music video.
Right.
And so that obviously assigned myself a big task, which is done. So now we're on to creating new stuff.
Yeah, we're not planning any live shows or live stream shows or anything like that. So it's pretty much we're just gonna shed it until we get this next
The thing was, I mean, we could do, and we've done we've done on Zoom like a couple of live performances just off the cuff of single songs that after some alcohol consumption, and I can't believe that I did as good as we did.
Yeah.
But
Yikes,
guys.
Yikes.
Rose and Justin, thanks. But it takes a lot because especially because we're using looping to accomplish some of the things. There's a lot of practice that goes into our live performance.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that other artists don't practice for their live shows. I just, I can either be focused on practicing or I could be focused on creation. Because I have, full-time job and kid that I'm trying to get through, launch into adulthood, I don't have a lot of bandwidth to do all the things.
Right. And what we tend to do is, especially when we're writing, we're only really focusing on one thing at a time. I forget everything else I've written while I'm writing because I can only really focus on one thing at a time. And we have to put it all down and commit it to being recorded. And then once that's done, we have to move right on to the next thing. So live performances, things like that, those don't happen without some significant practice to make sure we get all our loops right, we get the order of the songs right and things like that. So that's, songs will probably be some point end of summer, after summer easily. So this album's the big thing.
Yeah.
But that being said, we wanted to say thank you to everybody for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
We super appreciate it. We hope you enjoy the video.
And thank you if you're watching this later on YouTube.
Yes, thank you on YouTube. We appreciate it. So we want to tell all of you we love you very much.
Thank you for tuning in and making my birthday special.
We really appreciate it. Have a
Love
wonderful
you guys.
evening.